Today we are going to learn a new story from your English workbook. Chapter number 5, The Worthy Successor. I know all of you have read this story in your English course book. Today we will learn a new story, The King's Boatman, which is written by Sunidhi Valla. So open your workbook, page number 41. Before cars, trains and aeroplanes, sometimes kings travel by boats. So in the days, the cars, trains and aeroplanes, these vehicles were not created. On that time, kings traveled by the boats. Once a king was traveling by boat to a town far from the capital. Besides the boatmen, the king had many of his ministers with him. So one day the king was traveling by the boat to a town which was far from the capital. With him was his ministers and the boatmen. The day was very warm. So warm means very hot. So the day was very warm. And the ministers fell asleep. Of course, the boatmen couldn't sleep. It was their duty to row the king's boat. So when they were traveling by boat, the day became very warmer. So when the day became very warm, the ministers fall asleep. That means the ministers were sleeping there. But the boatmen could not sleep because it was their duty to row the boat. As the day grew warmer, the boatmen became very tired. One of them looked at the sleeping ministers and began to grumble. So the boatmen, after rowing the boat so many times, they became very tired. But one of them became very angry when he saw that all the ministers were sleeping, and he started to grumble. And he said, "Look at them," he said, "sleeping the day away. I don't know why they can't help us row the boat. After all, we are all capable. We should be able to do the same work and help each other out." So when he saw that all the ministers were sleeping, so he became very angry. And he thought and said to himself that, "Look at them, they are sleeping all the day. It is also their duty to help us because we are all capable. That means we are all strong and we should help each other. So why don't they help me? And they are sleeping all the day and we are becoming tired by rowing the boat." Now go to the next page. Now the king happened to overhear this. So these words was heard by the king. A little later, he heard a noise coming from the woods beside the river. He ordered the boat to stop and sent the grumbling boatman to find out what the noise was. Soon the boatman came back. So when the king was traveling, suddenly he heard a noise coming from the woods that was beside the river. And then he ordered the boatman who grumbled, who was very angry. He just ordered that angry boatman to go and find out what is going on there. And when the boatman came back, the king asked, "What's making that noise?" asked the king. "Some puppies," replied the boatman. find out the king's answer. "They must be very nice puppies," said the king. "Tell me, are they male or female?" Now the king asked, "Are the puppies male or female?" Once more the boatman had to go into the woods. When he came back, he told the king that 4 were male and 2 were female. Again the boatman said that he did not know the answer and he had to go back again to find out the king's answer. And when he came back, he replied that among them the 4 were male and the 2 were females. The king then woke one of his ministers and sent him to find out what the noise was. When the minister returned, the king asked, "Well, what did you find out?" So now the king examined the boatman. Now he woke up one of his ministers and sent him to find out the answer. And he asked, "Well, what did you find out?" "The noise is being made by some newborn puppies, Your Majesty," said the minister. So, when the minister came back, the king again asked the minister what was going on there. Now, the minister replied very clearly, "The noise is being made by some newborn puppies, Your Majesty. There are 6 of them, 4 males and 2 females." "What color are they?" asked the king. So again, the king asked his second question, what was the color of the puppies? "1 is white, 3 are black, and the others are brown, just like their mother," the minister replied. So you can see the minister replied very clearly to the king's question. The king turned to the boatman. So now the king turned to the boatman and said, "When I asked you to find out about the noise, you had to make 4 trips into the woods. This man had to go only once. This is one reason that he is a minister while you are a boatman. Some people are good at giving information and advice. Others are good at rowing boats." So now the king told the boatman that, "I asked you few questions and to find out the answer you have to go to the wood for the 4 times. But you can see that I have asked the minister and he just went there for 1 time and he find out my all questions answered. For this reason, he is the minister and you are the boatman. So, for this reason, you are the boatman." So, some people are good to give the information and some people are very good in rowing the boats. After this, the boatman did not grumble about his work anymore. So, after that day,